In this special Valentine's episode of Tech Talk Taco Tuesday, sparks will fly.
And it's not how you think. I mean, we're talking about Matt generating static electricity with our good viewer, Victor, because I think they're Valentines together or something.
Oh, I felt the charge building, that's for sure.
You're going to have to listen to this show. Live from Pahrump, this is Tech Talk Taco Tuesday. This is the show. Whoa, are you undressing on? It's Valentine Day, Matt.
Well, let's get a little steam in here. It's
okay,
Valentine's
I got some stuff.
Yeah.
So there's
more coming up. Don't worry.
This is your motorcycle related products questions show. We answer them as we get the questions. So we sometimes go live a little bit early. We do a pre-show on the Instagrams, which we did. And we had a really good question from 628 Motorsports while Matt gets undressed. If you were smart enough, you would actually, as a good producer, you would push that button and go to my camera. Don't let me tell you how to do your job. Just do it.
Yeah. So I'm co-hosting and producing tonight.
Push the button.
This button right here.
And go to my camera.
Okay, that's not one of the two buttons that starts the show.
Doesn't matter. But now the show has started, and then you could take your clothes off in private.
Well, I want to reveal one of the presenting sponsors for tonight.
Okay, and we like to make sure that we do talk about our sponsors. Our sponsors are Yamaha, Taco Moto, Scott Sports. Should I slow down and talk about each one of them? I'm going to talk about Climb. I'm going to talk about our product of the week is the Climb Inversion Glove, by the way. I wore this all day today. Actually, I covered up the microphone when I did that. And it was very, very happy with my gloves. I can't really talk much more about it right now. Might have to call somebody. So let's see. My intro needs to be like the Chicago Bulls and add to the 1990 with lights and Alan Parsons. 628 Motorsports, you need to go to our other thing and listen to and watch our intro on the YouTubes and the Facebooks. It's not bad. I mean, it sounds.
Right. It's
a sounds and it's a countdown clock. But so anyhow, back to what we were talking about.
Which was
DDC. Our first sponsor, DDC, right here behind me, makers of fine chain wheels, sprockets is what most of us call them. Nate was, without hesitation, said, I want to support the show, and has been continuing to help us out, and he'll forever help us out just because that's the loyalty we have here. Trail Tech, Fasst Company, had a really awesome talk with Cole the other day. We just started chatting about I needed a couple things. And so we were talking about different things. And we were talking about his son, who's doing crazy good at racing right now.
Yeah, Team Green Deal.
Right. And
that's really cool.
Just adapting to a different bike and just different things like that. So it's awesome to talk to Cole. The guys at Fasst Company. And I think I was talking with Jay Clark. If you want to hear a good episode, Matt said it was one of his most favorite.
Yeah, it was a top 5, bordering top 3 for me.
Okay. Jay Clark from Dirt Bike TV he went riding with us. That was the most important part.
Yeah,
he did a ride. Guy, it's funny. The guy I went riding with today didn't stick around to co-host.
No, and this guy, I may or may not have included his name in the title.
Of the show.
This show. So
people are probably joining expecting some Ricky. What was his?
Brabeck.
Brabeck. That's the way my machine says it. Anyways.
Yeah.
So Ricky had to go. He literally had. I guess it's Valentine's Day.
Something like that. Yeah.
So I'll get into that in a minute. But anyways, so I got to answer 628 Motorsports. Oh, we got more.
Yeah, we got more sponsors.
Bulletproof
Designs sponsoring.
That's a nice fitting shirt there, Matt. I'm glad you took all your clothes off to show me that.
Yeah. I mean, I've been working out. Just got to show it off.
And of course, double take mirrors. Sometimes we have discount codes for these. Sometimes we have giveaways on this show when someone sends us a good email or they ask a good question. We have items that we're able to distribute to, basically just to help our fan base. But okay, I'm getting back to 628 Motorsports. He asked what mods should he do to his, I'm going to get back to the question here. I had to scroll down. He said, but we had one person that said lean back and gas it, which confused me. What mods to 1994 XR250R do you suggest for trail riding? So I will tell you the number one thing that you can do to that bike is the 280 kit. And at the time I was riding for Al Baker's XRs Only. They're still in business. And I think Freddie owns it and runs it. And when I was doing it, Al was there. They spent a lot of time getting that 280 kit. We played with a lot of different squish bands and a lot of different compression ratios to get that 280 kit working the way that it did. And it's just a bolt on. And there's something about, and this isn't just the XR250. This is 250 4-strokes in general, giving them a little more displacement just to 270, 280. It's incredible the performance increase you get. I don't know what it is. And I always kind of think about certain things that are, a certain level of volumetric efficiency or whatever it is. But I think like motorcycles at 250 cc's, just have a choke chain on them, and they just don't work that good unless you do really crazy stuff to them without increasing the displacement. Increasing the displacement makes a huge gain on how that bike performs. So the very first thing I would do would be get a 280 kit for that bike, and you will be very happy. I don't know. I mean, I know XRs Only would probably have it and they would understand it, and they probably have the jetting specs because you will have to jet it. They probably have the jetting specs for when I was racing those things. I wish I could get that bike back. It came back and it went to XRs Only and it kind of floated around. Yeah. And I saw it in the desert a couple times because like Al would let someone, or Al wouldn't, because Al was by that time was paralyzed or not paralyzed, coma, unfortunately. So,
no.
Do we have people that are going to pop into the Zoom chat?
Yeah. I was going to bring them on after this question.
Okay. So here's how we're going to work. The Seat Concepts Hot Seat Hotline is now a Zoom.
It's a Zoom
thing.
Link. Yep.
We have it in the thing. And what you're supposed to do is, Matt, explain to it. You want to come in there, make a comment, talk.
So exactly. So when you click on this link, you will have the opportunity to actually come live on air now. If you have a face cam, you can go ahead and throw it on. But the requirements are, once you come into click the Zoom link, go ahead and put in the Zoom chat, what exactly you want to talk about. And if you're going to show your face, I need your face cam to come on before I actually bring you on the air. So these are going to be the rules: is I need to know what you're going to talk about, and I need to see the face cam before you actually come on air. I can shut you down pretty quickly if we're
going to do video, but also they can come in just as a call. Correct?
You can come in just as a call. You do not need to show your face if you don't want to. So
right. This is something new. We're kind of going away from the phone lines because they were kind of problematic. So
I want to stand out from other shows. I don't want to follow. I want to be
a leader. Yeah, that's good, Matt.
So,
which is really what he's saying is he couldn't figure out how to get the phone lines to work properly, and he's doing it this way.
So, no comment.
Okay, good.
All right. So with that, actually, we'll bring Chris on the show right now. So I'll get him to unmute right here.
Hey, 628. If I answered your question, good. Zoom idea is cool. Yeah, for sure. Join on. Hey, I saw this guy named Brian Horton. Remember him?
I remember him. Yeah.
Yeah. That guy showed up. Lors Moto is also on the Instagrams. And
okay.
when we clip you guys on Instagram, you have to go to one of our regular things. I know that guy.
Yeah. Mr. Chris Revell.
I recognize him.
Yeah.
He looks like he's lounging.
Yeah. No, he looks like it's strange. It looks like he's having a good time watching the show.
That's strange.
Yeah.
If I were watching this show, Chris, I would be throwing things at the screen I was watching it at. How are you doing tonight?
I'm doing really good. Just kind of relaxing tonight. Yeah, trying to warm up because I froze to death today and yesterday.
Yep.
I heard it was freezing today.
I was riding with a guy who tended to complain a lot about the temperature. He said he wished it was 110, not 36. And I disagreed with him heavily because, I mean, I was really happy in my gear. I was comfortable, relaxed. It was, my fingers weren't cold or anything. None of this stuff. I was good. So, and the snow was just falling just enough to put about like an inch on the ground. So I was leaving a big black stripe for him to follow is awesome. Yeah. So how can we help you today, Chris?
Hey, I was just wondering, what do you think the top 10 trail rides, for guys that want to travel around and experience some different things? What's your opinion of the top 10 trail rides to go on?
Top 10 trail rides. Are you baiting a hook that I don't want to bite on?
Well, they don't have to be secret rides. Just where if you're in a certain part of the country, where would you go? If you're going to Tennessee or you're going to Nevada, where would you like? Not even the ride, just the area. What's the area? Better question. You're in Nevada, so do you like riding Pahrump or Caliente or Pioche or Vegas? Or,
I'm gonna have to say that this is a question that I may not be able to answer, just because here, in all honesty, here's the reason why I deflect on these questions all the time, because I spend a lot of time riding dirt bikes and a lot of time finding places to ride dirt bikes where, and sometimes it's by mistake. And other times it's by invite, and other times it's just pure, I want to go ride there. And a lot of it came from when I was racing, when I was younger. Mm-hmm. And we got to race in cool places, whether you're racing in Colorado or Utah or Idaho or Michigan or Florida, or, and then you started learning about different terrains and different areas. And I'll tell you, once you cross the Mississippi, this is just once you cross the Mississippi, you are so limited on where you can ride compared to the Western states. There's a lot more private property and a lot less public land. So, and then the public lands tend to be pretty restrictive. It seems to be like private land that clubs or people that own large properties allow that. So east of the Mississippi, I'm not that fluid in, but west of it, once you're into the western states, I've ridden pretty much everywhere you can. And in all honesty, I mean, the problem is the internet just spreads out. You can watch videos all day long that say this is the best trail ride, 10 best. To your question, Chris, I've seen people, answer that in a YouTube video, and number one, my initial reaction is I just don't even want to watch it. But then I'm like, okay, where did they say? And then when they miss the point, when they miss the good ones, I'm happy.
Yeah.
So I kind of even refrain, because there are certain states that when I was growing up and younger, that, for instance, I'm not even going to say the state because it's funny, because it's coming back, because people rode there a lot, and then it got the main stuff got beat up, but now there's the secondary stuff that's actually pretty good, and it's kind of coming back around. And so there was a state that got super beat up, and everybody was going there because everybody knew that was the place to go, and it doesn't take much to go to the Forest Service and get a motor vehicle use map or whatever. But here's my, I guess the core essence of this is like, if somebody hands you something and you don't have to work for it, like, here is all the best trails. Here's Jimmy's 10 best trails. I'm going to hand them to you, and I'm going to give it to you, and you don't have to work for it. You don't feel like you've owned it. You don't feel like you've had to work for it, and therefore you're going to hand it to everybody else because you got it for free, and that's what it's worth to you, and that's it. And especially with trail use, trails can only handle a certain amount of density. And if I said, this is the best trail, I put up a video up on the internet, so YouTube, somebody, this is the best trail ever. I promise you that in less than a year, that will not be the best trail ever, because too many ding-dongs will go out there and wreck the trail, and they'll tell their friends. And then generally the best trail is really close to other really good trails. And when the best trail gets ruined, or people that don't have the skills to ride on the best trail, they go on other trails and they ruin the other trails. And some of these people don't pick up their trash. And 99% of these people never go back to even, they'll never go back to a work day or, a trail maintenance day. There's states that have, state rides where they go and do this kind of stuff. And so when I go, oftentimes when I go ride in other places that are not my area, and somebody will take me on a ride that they show me their good, the good, they'll link the good trails together. They'll show me the good stuff. It's like, I promise them I'm not coming back. And I'm the first guy to say, hey, when is the trail work day? Or I've got my chainsaw, I've got my hedge trimmer. I have no problem helping you with a rock bar or whatever. So this is the way that I would answer this question. This is why I'm going to politely refrain from answering your question. Is that acceptable, Chris?
Well, yeah, but that you kind of missed the my point is like an organized trail ride. In an area like a dual sport ride. I don't want to know. What are some very noteworthy? Well, let me rephrase it. Events, that are not a race, but a ride where you can experience, the local flavor. As an example, I rode the Great Smoky Mountain dual sport ride some years ago, and it was laid out by a club. It was a public, event, and this California boy got his backside handed to him by kudzu. I had no idea what kudzu was.
Right.
And so
okay, so if we start talking about events, and I'm going to be biased a little bit here because of course I work with Nora on the Mexican 1000, and people always want to go to Baja and do Baja, and they want to do rally, and if you want to take rally, which is something a lot of our viewers are interested in, and you want to do Baja, you could not buy a custom tour to go do Baja any better than go and do the Nora Mexican 1000. And then if you really want to do it, go with a guy like Tim Morton from Baja Bound, who runs an incredible service to go do it. So that's Mexico. Okay. We got Baja. I have places in Mexico that I like to ride that I'm not even going to talk about unless you want to do the Sonora Rally, which is like the whole next level. I have not done the Nevada 200. I know you're a big fan of the Nevada 200, Chris. That's definitely one of your favorite rides, correct?
Yeah, I've got 32 or 33 finisher pins from that, and I really like the Nevada 200. What Scott Harden has done up there, and I like the community.
And Casey, and for sure, Casey and
just riding in that area. I like the ride itself, but riding some of the seeing some of the stuff going up the little town of Pioche or down to some of the other sites. That general terrain, I really enjoy that, and I'm starting to enjoy some of the adventure touring stuff too. So
yeah. So as far as some other different events, I do stuff at the Tour Tech Rally, which somebody mentioned in our chat, which is an awesome event up in the Pacific Northwest. I've done the Tour Tech Rally back in Pennsylvania, and actually in Pennsylvania, they have some good public lands. They run a national enduro on some of the same trails, and then they combine it with a lot of nice roads. So that's a good event. Somebody's mentioning the Desert 100 in Odessa, Washington. Aaron, I don't have any experience with that, although my good buddy Paul Neff won it last year. So I know where it's at. It seems a little bit hoop-de-doos for me. Mm-hmm. I mean, I did plenty of hoop-de-doos in my life. I guess what other events, like the Idaho City ISD qualifier was always a really good event, and I think I'm trying to remember the name of the club. Boise Trail Riders, Idaho City. I think they call it the 100 now also, but it's a basically ISD qualifier. That's a really good one. What others? And there's some really good enduros in Colorado. There's a couple that I've heard about in Arizona that I want to do. And then like Bobby Coleman mentions, all the BDR routes, the backcountry discovery routes. So it really depends on what you're trying to do. And it's not hard to find some good stuff. And a lot of the stuff that's public, you can take that, and you don't have to, it's not like it's written in stone. You don't have to ride the course that's exactly on the BDR. You can go explore off of the BDR, and it'll take you into some really good areas. The Tour of Idaho, for instance, it was a top 10 kind of trail ride for me, but I don't think most people like riding for 8 or 9 days. Now I think it's 10 or 11 days straight.
Oh, wow.
6 in the morning till 5 o'clock at night. I have a video about that. It's on tour. Search Jimmy Lewis Tour of Idaho, and you can find that. But it's not hard to find stuff. I just wish that people would, when they find the nugget, that they run into a trail someplace. Whether we all know the different spots, and people that have been riding for a long time, I think they tend to be like me. They're a little cautious about doing it. People that have just gotten into it find the best thing ever, and they want to throw it up on
their socials.
On the socials, and they don't realize the consequences of doing that. So
right.
Yeah, I hope that there's some learning in there, especially these people now that there's some of them that have been into it 3 and 4 years now. And in the beginning, they're real ding dongs about putting stuff up, but they've kind of graduated and educated from that. But and there's a few rides that I still want to do. I mean, there's still places I want to go, do kind of like Chris says, maybe some organized events. And do you ever see the picture? Like, what really pissed me off, Chris, is I saw pictures from like the Taft Grand Prix and the Big Six Grand Prix right before it. These kind of rolling green grass hills. Did you see any of those?
Yeah.
Yeah. That I want to do, but it involves racing. So I'll just go to SRA Grand Prix at Glen Helen once a month if I ever get back to it. Those are fun. By the way, if you want to go do a Grand Prix, SRA Grand Prix at Glen Helen are some of the best. Some of the just super low key, super fun, good times. So
cool.
Hopefully I answered that question.
Yeah.
Thank you, Chris.
Yeah, thanks. Enjoying the show. Like the new format. You guys are doing a good job. So
wait, we have a new format?
Well,
Yeah, it's called Competence.
Competence?
That's the new format.
Oh, I'm trying to do better.
keep changing it up. That's what we like.
Hey,
right.
Can we have you on for an oil change segment?
Sure.
Chris's oil talk of the week.
Last week when Jay was on, we brought up oil.
Yeah,
because he was a Klotz guy, and I brought up Duralube, and we brought up CalGuard, we brought up all the oils, we brought up Maxima, we brought up all the different things, and the chat board just went nuts.
Oh yeah,
it literally the like it's just like everybody listed their favorite oil like religion.
Well, you invite me up for tacos and tequila, and I'll be there.
Bring that turbo thing that Razor, the Honda, what do they call that? Talon.
Yeah, sure. Which one do you want? Do you want the 100 horsepower stocker? You want the 150 horsepower warmed up one? Or do you want the 250, 275 horsepower one?
Let's have the one that skims over hoops really good and handle and jumps a little bit. Let's have that one.
Okay. Whichever one can beat the 570.
Beat the Husaberg 570.
Yeah.
Nah, it's not impossible.
No, you want to play with four wheels? I'll drag a toy up there.
Yeah. Okay.
Sweet. All right.
I blew a belt out in mine, so I'm like, I need a new toy.
Well, this has a transmission. Ain't got no belts.
Yeah, I know. That's what I was saying. So,
right.
Okay, Chris, good to see you again.
Okay, take care, buddy.
Take care.
We'll see you later. Bye.
Okay. So we're going to clip everybody on the grams right now. So thank you for joining. If you're still there watching, Matt says go to our YouTube or Facebook page.
Yep.
Or no, YouTube or
go to YouTube or Facebook for sure.
It's at Dirt Bike Test. Hey, thanks a lot for joining in on this platform, and we'll see you soon.
Yeah.
So
hey, I think that was our first successful just call-in on the new Hot Seat hotline. Because when I switched it to Zoom, not a lot of people have been.
I'm patting Matt on the back.
Oh, no, thank you. You know, I was doing that myself, but I appreciate you chiming in.
I do that my entire life. Right, patting myself on the back.
Well, apparently I got kicked out of a boy band.
You did?
Yeah, I did. I guess. I mean, that's what.
Matt got kicked out of a boy band. Wait, that is a lie. JB Black, I have a video I'm going to send you. I told somebody he wasn't sponsored today, but I still put a sticker on him and told him he was in the club, if you know what I mean.
And actually, we had a question here. Actually,
okay.
I'm going to go to. So this was from Curtis Grimes. Happy Tuesday, guys. Looking for a street setup for my 23 FE 501S. Going between a Supermoto setup or getting another set of stock rims and something like the Battle Axe or similar. Can y'all recommend one way or another? Thinking stock sizing for ease of swap over. Thanks.
So, I mean, we're Dirt Bike Test, so we're probably not the ideal place to ask a question about Supermoto setups, but having raced Supermoto in the past, I know a little bit, if not a lot about it. And going to the whatever the current best size wheels are, and I don't know, because there were 16s and 17s and 16.5s. They were always changing around. Like I said, this is why I'm not the best person, because I've lost touch with it. I wish Scott Hoffman were here, because Scott would know exactly what it is.
What is Scott up to these days?
I don't know.
Okay,
it's hiding. So if you're going to switch to those wheels, if you want to get the best out of it, because even if you take the stock, I think that's what you're asking. Do you do with the 18 and 21 inch rims and going to some like more street oriented type tires, like something that would come on an adventure bike? It's a big difference, because having that front end lower, with the smaller wheel and getting the bigger brake on it, because you have a bigger contact patch. Because there's the difference between Supermoto is you're on road and you have 100% traction, and in dirt you have a lot less traction. So we can get away with a smaller, less width front wheel. So when you go to Supermoto, you want as big of fat of a front tire as you can have, and that's where all your turning and all your braking comes into play. So there's all kinds of setups and stuff, but you know what? I would just tell them straight up.
What's that?
Don't wreck a good dirt bike.
Yep.
Yeah, don't wreck it. Husky, and I think still KTM, sell a special edition Supermoto bike. It's a
690, isn't it?
They have 690 ones too, but I think they do a 501 or a 450 version that they do like a factory edition. Mm-hmm. They do a limited release on these things, I think, every year. So just buy that or look at what that is. However that bike is spec'd out, that's the way you want to do it, because believe it or not, they do it right. So yeah, they do make a 701 Supermoto thing.
Which is Supermoto making a comeback? Because I feel like I'm seeing more and more of those.
People are riding them around in the street. Okay. I mean, it's definitely a thing. They want to get, like, they're hooligan bikes, and if you're trying to do hooligan stuff on a full-size street bike, you're going to, just like the adventure bikes, they think they can ride them like a dirt bike, and it doesn't work.
Yeah.
Same thing. The smaller, lighter bike allows you to learn more when you're doing it, to get away with more when problems start. And that's the kind of thing. I as far as, like, if you wanted to learn how to go fast on a street bike, a Supermoto bike is a great way to do that, because it's slow, but then it has handling characteristics, and you learn about traction, especially front end traction, what you can do. But
yeah. And what killed Supermoto originally was economy in 2008, and then price of tires, right? Hey,
Curtis, at least we will admit that we don't know what we're talking about, even though we probably know 95% more than most people that would talk about it. You know who I used to race against in Supermoto?
Scott?
A little bit Scott, but just it's crazy because it was Jeremy McGrath, Troy Lee, Scott Russell, Mark Cernicki, who is also working at the same magazine I was working at, Mike Metzger.
Oh, really?
Was doing Supermoto. I mean, just the list of guys that got into that when it was fresh and new. There was some flat trackers that were into it that were really good. I can't remember all the names because I'm horrible with names, but just the amount of guys that kind of jumped in that early phase of Supermoto was crazy.
Mm-hmm. That's cool though.
So, hey, the other thing about Supermoto is if you can get an inertial damper for your rear swing arm, look this thing up. That was like cheating because all that hop that you get in the rear wheel when the wheel starts chattering, it fixes that. Huh. So, okay.
All right. So you ready for some questions from our sheet here?
Okay. We got some questions in the chat though, because like Seamarsh says, which one and why? Are we talking about Valentine's Day?
I have no idea what we're talking about. I actually don't know why. I'm trying to figure out which one and why. I don't know what that's for.
Neither do I.
So that's why I was not really.
So what is Mike KMET?
Have the last dude on check out Transitalia Marathon. Starts in Rimini, Italy. Super fun 4-day ride in central Italy. Not a race, fun rally. I've been going on since 2016.
I wonder if Mike. So when I was a kid, when I was like younger than you, there was a rock station in Los Angeles called KMET. It was like there was KMET and KLOS. Okay. They were the rock stations because we didn't have like internet radios or whatever you kids have these days. No
podcast,
no podcasts, no SoundClouds, no any stuff. And if you're listening to this, you can find us on Apple Podcasts. Share it with a friend. Wow, he's just typing like crazy. Yeah, see, KMET rocks.
Which one? Why?
Yeah. So there was bumper stickers, and you either had a KLOS bumper sticker, or you had a KMET bumper sticker. Yep, showing my age there, brother.
Nice.
So, okay, next question.
All right, there. So this was actually submitted from Colin Bowman. He wants to ask Jimmy a couple questions that you might have some answers to. So,
likely.
So what is it about some single cylinder bikes like the CRF 450L and WRR that make the motor so much smoother than the average single?
So the WRR, which is the Yamaha, that's the 250, I believe.
Yes, which I don't think they make anymore, do they?
What was the other one you said?
CRF 450L and then the WRRs.
So I think they have heavier cranks and heavier flywheels, and I believe that they're very careful about just the balance. The balance and counterbalance. They have counterbalancers in there, and unlike a competition motor that may have a smaller counterbalancer, these have more counterbalancers. But they'll dampen things, whether they're dampening the with the clutch basket or dampening in the hub, some of the drive characteristics. But I don't necessarily know that they're that much smoother than anything else, but they're also sometimes the mass of the bike, just having a heavier bike kind of makes them feel a little bit smoother, or, gives them a more planted feel as well. So I hope that answers that question.
Robert Miller chimed in with heavier cranks, flywheel, rev less, and heavier piston.
Yeah, the heavier piston is you have to counteract the heavier piston with the counterbalancer because the piston flying up and down, which is heavier, has to be counteracted.
Okay. And so he's also asking about the Taco Moto magnetic oil filter. Just what's your thoughts on it so far?
I'm interested in what it's doing, but I'm not totally sold on it just yet, because what I've been doing is I've been taking it in and out of bikes with normal filters and putting it in and seeing what excess stuff it pulls out.
Right.
And then I've been doing multiple changes with it. So it's been getting a workout, and I've been like wiping paper towels with it and taking pictures of what I get out of it. Mm-hmm. Comparing it to what's on the magnetic drain plug, cause it's a magnet also. And then I've been popping new filters back into an engine that's been running with that. So I've been testing it. I just haven't come to a conclusion yet. Mm-hmm. Takes a little bit of time.
Got it. Okay, so
there's a lot of questions in there.
This is actually just one giant question, and I was actually going to ask.
Can you summarize it?
I'm going to summarize it. Essentially, talks about how great the T7 is. Like, we don't need any ad reads from Yamaha anymore. I can just read what he says about the T7.
Oh, really? Let's go ahead and do it.
Let's see. He grabbed the T7 because you said it's the jam. I have to say he has to say he's impressed with it. It's been great fun in canyon roads, even with the Scorpion tires. The handling and steering feel just incredibly good. Ergonomics are just about perfect for relaxed riding, seating, or standing. The tank area is a bit large, but makes it hard to get way far forward on the bike, but it's doable. ABS works even better off-road than he was led to believe it would. He feels he doesn't have to turn it off all the time. On the other hand, he has no idea how the rear brake setup made it out of the factory. At least it's an easy fix with the Camel ADV. He's running year settings on the suspension, and he finds that it's way better than the stock settings. But when it gets rough, he wants to slow it way down.
Wait. He wants to slow it way down. Like,
I'm running your settings as a baseline, and it's way better than the stock settings. But when it gets rough, slow way down. Oh, okay. I read that wrong. Yeah.
Oh, so he's saying he slows down.
Slows down when
that's
it gets rough.
The smart thing.
Yeah, that's what you're supposed to do. It's adventure bike, not a dirt bike. She doesn't like the wheels getting very far off the ground. A bit more travel and a high speed compression would go a long way, but it's still very fun as a lower speed trail bike. Climb over obstacles instead of jumping over them. Behaves nicely. This is a very long-winded question. Thanks for the ad read, though. There's the weight. Then there's the weight. She's heavy. I imagine it'd be easier to get it in some nasty positions on a trail where I'm not sure I'd be able to get it out alone. I ride past hills and trails that I normally would go up on another dual sport bike. He wants to dump the better part of 100 pounds off this monster if he wants to keep it long term.
100? You're not going to get 100 pounds off of it.
Mm-hmm. So. But he's saying that he could probably lose some of that weight we hit in the gym.
No. I'll tell you. Oh, 100 pounds off himself or off the bike?
I don't think I think off the bike, but he's saying he's going to start off.
Let me just tell you something about motorcycles in general. Is when your motorcycle is balanced, it weighs the same as any other motorcycle that is balanced. Mm-hmm. The problem with larger adventure bikes and stuff is, when they get out of balance, they become very, very, very problematic in an exponential fashion. So think about that when you're working on stuff. And how do we do that? This episode is brought to you by www.jimmylewisoffroad.com. I tend to teach riding schools. No, I do teach riding schools.
Yeah, you have one this weekend.
Oh yeah, we have a class this weekend. We have spots.
Oh,
spots this weekend, available. And in our last question, or it's February, March. We have spots in our March class. Mm-hmm. So if you want to become a better rider, I absolutely promise you, you can learn one or two things from us at the school. A lot of it has to do with balance.
Balance and traction.
Balance and traction. The two most important things. And Thank you to Yamaha. That's YamahaMotorsports.com. I know Teneres are hard to get, but evidently there's a lot of them in Southern California, I've heard.
Oh, nice.
They're available in Southern California.
So I think to answer kind of the question he's alluding to about the weight of it, rather than spending money to lose some weight on it, he should just practice his balance.
Right.
That's pretty much how.
Yeah. And don't let the bike get out of balance. And that takes a lot of practice as well, just mm-hmm. because you literally need to, anticipate a lot of times. You can't just keep it in balance all the time. You have to anticipate what's coming at you. But this is the kind of stuff we talk about in school. And that's mm-hmm. The Better Rider podcast.
Yeah.
Which you can find that on the iTunes as well.
Yep. Spotify, Google Podcasts.
So C-Marsh has a question.
Okay, so C-Marsh Well, yeah. So I think this is the one he was alluding to earlier. Which bike to buy and why? Currently on a 2017 YZ250X off-road only. He's riding off-road only. YZ250 FX, Beta 200, KTM 350 EXC. Those are...
So I'm glad that C. Marsh is just throwing out. He's gonna make his buying decision 100% based on what I say.
That's a wide variety of bikes.
No, not really. They're all kind of for me, they're all in kind of the same category. He hasn't really asked if, because the next thing I need to know is, are you racing or not, or a little bit? Mm-hmm. Is there any track use involved, or are you just trail riding? And I'm just going to tell you right off the top of my head, because Yamaha is our sponsor, the YZ250FX would be by far and away the only decision you should make. Okay, now I'm going to answer the question honestly when he gets back to...
so not racing.
You
I'm
said
guessing.
Not, you said
LOL nah when you were
well, no,
talking about if it's racing.
So not racing, just trail riding.
Yeah.
So when you start going into trail riding, the FX is a race bike, and you know this. We struggle with it when we're doing like slow speed, technical trials-y kind of stuff.
Oh yeah, it's not the most fun bike to use on the logs.
Right, and because it's meant to do more like Grand Prix racing and really being kind of just more aggressive. So the FX is very race heritage. I would say, okay, stay away from that. Then you go into the other two bikes that make a lot more sense, Beta 200 and KTM 350 EXC. I think for just all around performance in that weight category and that power category, the two-stroke is better for trail riding. As long as you're not doing roads, once you start throwing roads into the mix, higher speed roads, the KTM starts coming into play, but they're both kind of the same. But if you're just, if you laid out a 30-mile super fun signal track with some logs in it and some technical stuff where I'm going to be down in first gear and I'm going to have to use the clutch a little bit all day long, Beta 200, that motor is fantastic. I'm really disappointed that KTM kind of decided that 150 was going to cover it, because unless you're a little tiny kid, no, because I'm 200 pounds and that extra 30 cc's, just like we talked about the XR250 at the beginning of the show.
Yep.
That extra cc's on a 250 4-stroke, that's where that 200 2-stroke really, really shines.
And he's coming off of a YZ250X.
Right. So the YZ250X is kind of in the same thing, where that's a bike that will allow that race speed, race attitude, and still dabble into the trail riding zone. I don't know if the YZ250X is kind of good too, but the Beta will be a lot lighter feeling, and the YZ250X has enough power to get you in trouble, where I think the Beta is just on the other side of that. But don't let me influence your buying decision, because that's what advertisers always say. It's like, well, do you really sell anything? We're going to go to the AIM show tomorrow and try to convince people that we do.
Right,
Matt?
Hey, we do. I feel like
that's your job. No, people trust what I say because I'm pretty honest about it. But anyways, YamahaMotorsports.com. Go there. I was going to start saying that I would like to tell you how awesome the YZ 450
the new one
is, but I haven't ridden it.
Yeah.
Seems like it's doing good in Supercross for the most part.
Yeah. Well, except poor Dylan.
Last weekend?
Yeah. Poor Dylan. All right. So from Curly Stoker, he had actually sent in a question as well.
Right.
Says, your friend Curly here. I have a 2017 TX300. I need to pull them off and verify still, but I have a sneaking suspicion my stock triple clamps are no longer true. I have 346 hours on them. If it turns out that they are not flat and are indeed bent, do you have any recommendation on a new set? I am not going to afford Graham Jarvis or Jason Anderson type equipment, but a good solid set to look at. Thanks.
So he's thinking he bent his triple clamps. Wow. Can
you do that without bending the fork tube?
I don't know. So this is a good question. In all honesty, I mean, if we haven't been asked this one before, it's a new question. Yeah. So he's wondering whether his triple clamps are bent, and good on him for, being able to take the effort to take them off and figure out whether they're straight, level, flat, whatever. I'm going to guess that, I mean, you would really, really know if you've bent your triple clamps, and you would either have thrown the bike down something that was pretty gnarly. I mean, it would have to hit the ground really hard or do some kind of a twist really hard. Or if you hit something while you were riding, it would have knocked the crap out of you. In all the time I've been riding, I've only bent maybe a couple sets of triple clamps. Mm-hmm. And it was violent. I mean, bad, violent, gnarly. And he said TX?
Yeah, TX 300.
Because I think the TX comes with the more billet clamps, not the cast ones. So those are even more stout. So I'm going to kind of guess that those aren't bent, but yeah, you need to look at, same thing, see if the forks are true, because it depends. I mean, I've bent both things before, but usually the fork, you can take it off, take the spring out and run the slider through there, mm-hmm. and you'll know right away. It'll bind at the fork, one or the other or both, but I've never bent both of them. Usually it's just one. So I'm kind of running through. Generally, what bends in the triple clamps is where the bolts that mount the steering.
The steering stem?
Not the steering stem, but the where the handlebar mounts are.
Oh, okay.
So people have the risers, and if you have risers on, there's way more potential that they're bent at that point with bar risers, because you have more leverage on it. Generally, the bolts and the perches that bolt on top of the triple clamp, those are usually what kind of get whacked before anything else. Like, especially if it's a bar hit, mm-hmm. The bar hits and it hits the steering stop. And the other way you can tell is if you don't have a dent in your steering stop and or your triple clamp, like a corresponding dent in those two, your triple clamps are not bent, because it takes a really hard hit. Mm-hmm. So I would check the bolts on top, check the forks, and then that just loosening everything up and centering it back up and retorquing it. And if you constantly retorque it and it kind of goes out of true, check the axle. We've seen axles be slightly bent as well. So hopefully, I think that should get you there. But man, I'm betting it's not going to be a triple clamp. You've really got to smack that sucker to get it. Mm-hmm. Okay. Utah Desert Rider says, I look a little bit like Bob and Doug McKenzie, That he's talking about Matt, not me. You know those guys?
I do not know the Bob and Doug McKenzie.
Thanks, Utah Desert Racer. You just showed your true age.
All right. Yeah. Well, Finn825
Wait a minute. Hold on a second. I wish it. So they had Geddy Lee from Rush.
Okay.
Because it's all Canadian shit.
Yeah. They
had Geddy. What is the name of that song? Utah Desert Racer. No, it's like something. Oh, it was one of my favorite songs when I was a kid. I like Bob and Doug. They were just hosers, And they would drink beer and mm-hmm. They had a show, and they were kind of surprised. It's kind of like this show. They were kind of surprised that they were actually a show,
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Wow.
Yeah, I need a beer.
All right. So from Finn825, what are predictions for the 2024 WR450F? Do you think they will add a sixth gear?
No, they will not add a sixth gear. That's a huge undertaking. There's just not the space inside of that transmission. And since it's based off YZ, they're not going to look at what Honda did to get the sixth gear in the L and the X. Wider frame, whole different engine platform. It's a huge, huge expense. And Yamaha doesn't have a WR450 street legal version in this country.
Mm-hmm.
They just don't. That's just something that they don't do. And you would need that extra amount of units to sell to make the sixth gear make sense on the other stuff. Yeah. Yep. They just sat there and talked, drinking beer. Right. What beer did the Bob and Doug drink? And what was the name of it? Hose Off. Hoser. There's a lot of hoser. Yeah. Hose Off. Was that the word they said? Like, my brain doesn't work that well. You know this. 2 brain cells.
Well, yeah, this is a little before my time.
Okay, Victor, this is a little offensive. Why is there no Valentine's deco at the campus? Do you guys have a grudge against love? Well, Matt was taking off his clothes at the beginning of the show. I thought that was showing me some love. Now I know why Ricky had to get home.
What is that?
Valentine's Day.
Yeah. It makes more sense.
But my wife told me, should I tell you what my wife told me?
What's that?
So Heather mentioned to me that she said, you could go out and spend a whole lot of money on an overpriced meal tonight and still get the same 2 sex positions at home. She wasn't talking about us. Mm-hmm. She was just talking about like Valentine's Days in general.
Yep. That's a good one. All right. So
did you do that last night with your friend?
No,
because you moved Valentine's Day a day forward so you could be here now.
Not really.
Not really.
No. Okay. It was something pretty small. Like
there's something pretty small.
Yeah.
That's what they tell me all the time too.
Yeah. Okay. All right, so we'll go on to our question sheet here from last show. Husky Holler was asking, he was actually asking Utah Single Track in a comment. I had a kill switch problem, and it was the ground wire broken somewhere in the loom. So he was able to just splice his ground wire into another ground. No, I haven't heard of that.
The ground wire was broken inside the wire loom. What bike were we talking about?
Let me look. Do we know? Real quick. No, because I just remember someone chimed in about how to.
So this sounds like a KTM thing. In all honesty, because if you wonder why your KTM bike is so lightweight, look no farther than the wiring harness and the diameter of the wires compared to the wires you're going to find on, let's say, a Honda. And it has to do with durability standards. It has to do with a lot of different things. But those wires, if you start putting a lot of stress and heat through those wires somehow when something goes wrong, those, they can crack or, it doesn't take much for it to get pinched in the steering stem when you're doing a big swap curly, right? Your wiring harness drops down and the steering stem pinches it in the steering stop. Yeah, I've seen all this happen before. So on a KTM, or Husky or gas with the little tiny wires. I've seen the wires break before. Actually, not gas. They haven't been around long enough because we're talking about bikes from how. Do you know that the bikes that you're rebuilding the carburetors on could be as old as you?
I had a feeling. Yeah.
Yeah. So those ones, every once in a while, like we have a issue with the wiring harness.
Well, actually, they're older than Logan.
I know they're older than Logan.
I'm pretty sure I'm older than them, but they're definitely older than.
Who's Logan?
Some kid used to come around. I wish, yeah.
He was that the co-host that didn't talk so I could talk more about myself?
Yeah, I believe so.
Okay.
Sorry, I actually talk from time to time. bringing the quality of the show down.
Right. Hey, this show is brought to you by Yamaha, Taco Moto. And we're going to do Roost Endo tonight?
Yeah.
We have Roost Endo.
We always have Roost Endo.
This is everybody's favorite thing. So what you can do if you're watching the show, by the way, if you're in the chat right now, I'm really curious like where everybody's from. So even if you're just lurking, you're just kind of in the background or something, let us know where you're from so I can make more offensive jokes about where you're from. Mm-hmm. Canadians excluded. Taco Moto Roost Endo segment coming up. Scott Sports. I was wearing amplified goggles today in the ever-changing conditions because it was like snow and then it went to full sunlight. And I mean, I could see everything. Climb, DDC, Trail Tech, Fasst Company, C Concepts, Bulletproof Designs. Take note of Matt's shirt right now.
Yep.
and double take mirrors. So New Zealand.
Wow. Look at that.
Yeah.
International.
And we know Dave Black is from the ATL. I ride a Husaberg that has ATL graphics on it.
Yeah.
Greg Miller, Los Angeles, California. I'm sorry. Right?
Yeah.
So, hey, we're from Pahrump, Nevada. This is Valley of the Dirt people. Yeah. We had a haboo come through here today, right before the rain. And it was amazing how much dust got kicked up in the air. And then every raindrop that landed on anything coated it with dust. So you just can't get away from it.
Yeah. Yeah.
This is why Matt wants to move to Las Vegas, or he's in Las Vegas.
Yeah, I say I have moved to Las Vegas. I grew up here. I had enough of it.
Victor Torrance, California. Come on.
Which Victor actually had a question. So,
he did.
He always rides with the shitty Ross or Burlington Coat Factory jackets during the cold season. Does anyone else get shocked when going over 40 miles per hour? Do climb jackets do the same?
Get shocked. That's well, okay. So
depends on what shock.
Victor,
means.
I'm questioning about like this getting shocked because so there's times when, and this is an interesting thing, when you're riding in sand and your tire is spinning, it static electricity is basically what happens, and it happens more under power lines than normal, or if you're in the vicinity of a lightning storm. I've had this happen, but generally Dean Kemp, Kingston, Nevada. I know Dean. I run into Dean out in the desert near Kingston, Nevada all the time. Yeah, a lot. Okay, so yeah, the static shock. Do you get it through your fingers on the lever? That's the question. Or are you actually getting shocked like up on your chest or someplace like that? Because usually it ends up kind of transmitting from the bike to the best contact to you. And so I've had this happen before, but I don't know that it has anything to do with your Burlington Coat Factory jacket. Because
if it's a super big one, I could see it. Like if it's a super poofy one, because then you have a lot of extra material there that could actually, carry more charge.
Oh boy, you just went out of fingers to levers with thick gloves.
Yeah.
Okay. So I've only felt it. I've never felt it anyplace else, but fingers to levers. I've had this happen to problem. So I'll tell you an interesting story. I was riding with a good friend of mine, Casey McCoy, and we were out near Tonopah, Nevada, and we were kind of getting, there was all these thunder showers just came out of nowhere and lightning. And we were kind of running away from a thunderhead that was behind us, but it was kind of catching us. And we were going, and I just remember like getting shocked a little bit. And this is what I like, no, this is what I like. It's what I'm used to. And I'm getting shocked a little bit. And I'm like, okay, yeah, this is kind of normal, whatever. And we were going away from it, but we were also heading towards another thunderhead. And we're kind of going down a big, long valley, probably 12-mile long valley down into this thing. And we're getting lower, closer to where basically it turned into a dry lake bed. And we're running this, and there's lightning strikes behind us and lightning strikes in front of us. And it's like, we're the tallest thing for 10 miles around.
Yeah.
This isn't good.
Very not good.
And my fingers were now getting shocked a lot, like every 5 seconds in different fingers. And I'm like, there's a lot of energy. And I don't know how this works. You're the physicist. So all this stuff is kind of going. And I looked over at Casey and he looked at me and it was like, yeah, this is weird. I mean, we've all ridden a lot of miles and this is weird. Yeah. So we literally skidded to a stop and it's like, I think this is bad. And we said, and the lightning was like less than a mile away. You could see it cracking and hitting the ground. I'm like, screw it. So we stopped the bike. There was a small ditch, maybe a foot or 2 feet. We got off our bikes and we went and laid down in this ditch. So we were below ground level and stuff. And we're sitting there for like 3 minutes and then it starts raining and then it really starts raining. And like about 3 minutes and I'm like going, you know what? And we weren't even talking. We were scared, really scared. We weren't even talking, but I'm thinking to myself, if lightning hits my bike, which is now the tallest thing in this valley for 5, 7, 12 miles around. So I jumped up, ran over, kicked my kickstand out, turned my gas off, and laid my bike over.
Yeah.
And went and laid back down in the ditch. I moved it a little bit away from his. And I could see him going, what the hell? And I just looked at him and go, we can ride double. So we sat in this ditch for a good 20 minutes.
Yeah.
It was scary. The wind was howling. And then water starts running because must have been raining farther up the thing. Water starts running down the ditch. And now we're like on our knees. And the good thing is when the rain finally started coming, the lightning sort of went away. Mm-hmm. And we were just in there, just what a mess. But anyways, the lightning sort of went away and we sort of rode out of there because it just passed pretty quick, probably all within an hour or something like that. Mm-hmm. But we didn't cuddle, by the way, Matt. I mean, it wasn't Valentine's Day.
Right.
So,
well, then I guess that's not a real.
Like, so Matt seems to think that it could be affected by your jacket.
Yeah.
I think it's more affected by the other conditions. But if you wanted to wear climb gear, that would be the best choice you could make, because if you did get hit by lightning, which is it's a precursor to this, right? I mean, if you're feeling shocks, there's a better potential for lightning.
Oh yeah. So not to terrify you, but so if you're starting to feeling those shocks when there's lightning going, then you actually probably had a little mini lightning bolt coming out of your guys' head, but only for like a fraction of a second, because lightning, it never actually strikes the ground. It actually meets in the middle of the air. It's actually coming from the ground and from the clouds, because the electrons are so excited they want to meet. And so there's actually a lot of pictures of like tall objects next to a lightning strike where they actually have like these little mini lightning bolts coming out of like a tree or like a person.
I like the vision of me with lightning bolts coming out of my head.
Yeah, but like for very fraction of a second, like you and I wouldn't see it with our normal eyes.
Oh, with me, it's all the time. I mean, there's definitely even like right now, there's lightning bolts coming out of my head.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh. See, Victor likes me. He said I was right. But yeah, dude, if you have a big jacket,
Victor, come on, buddy. Just ask him to be your Valentine. It's that easy.
I'll say yes, Victor. But I mean, if you have a big jacket there, you have all that foam, and it's moving around a lot, or not the foam, but all that material in there, it's moving around a lot, especially if you're doing, this with the handle, turning the handlebars, and you're moving,
creating static electricity.
It's exciting all the electrons in that, in the material there. Mm-hmm. So there we go.
Why does it end up going out of it moves down and goes out your finger onto the lever?
It chooses the path of least resistance. And so your boots, that's some pretty dense material.
Yeah.
And so your gloves, even if they're thick, that's the path of least resistance. So it's going to follow that, go through the lever, and then probably to the ground, which is the motorcycle frame.
I'm glad that I have excited electrons inside of me.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Okay. So John needs to pay attention to what we just said, and we'll talk about excited electrons.
Yep. Excited electrons.
So, oh no, we're going to get canceled for that.
For science. Okay. I don't think that's how it works, but
well,
I mean,
with all this stuff we're shooting down out of the sky these days.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm surprised that we're not starting. You know what? The next thing that's going to happen, the military is going to start shooting unidentified riding dirt bike riders.
Well, I'm pretty sure they do that if you ride too close to certain areas.
We know place. I got a guy I can get on the show that can talk about this, but he can't.
Well, looking at the time, I think we should
take a break. And dirt bikes excite my electrons too,
and other things. So yeah, we'll take a commercial break.
Yeah, we need to take a commercial break.
And then when we come back, we'll answer some more questions, and we'll go into Roost or Endo.
Okay, sounds good.
What's up, Moto Buddies? Mike here from Taco Moto Co. What is the Taco Touch? It's the best service in the industry. Virtually 24/7 tech support via email or text, and it's like having a dirt bike doctor on call every day of the year, helping you fix your bike or recommend parts or setups for you. If you've ever received an order from us, you know that the Taco Touch extends to our fulfillment, and our orders come with the coolest stickers that you've ever had, buying parts from anybody before, and a handful of root beer barrel candies. All of our Taco Moto co-branded components come with a no questions asked lifetime warranty, and we'll even extend out the warranty of other manufacturers, OEM, and aftermarket parts where we can, sometimes for life. We test and tune endlessly and exhaustively and obsessively. We're trying to destroy everything that we can before you get your hands on it to look for weaknesses and to improve it, or to make recommendations to the manufacturer. And if it's something that doesn't meet grade, then we don't offer it on the store. Everything that we carry is something that we have personally used, tested, and ridden and raced, and knows meets the high Taco Touch demanding standard. Go out and get some adventure.
And we are back. Matt, will you be my Valentine's?
Depends. What do I get?
Well, I just thought I'd throw that in there because now Victor is your big fan.
Yeah, no. Victor, I appreciate it, but I thought I was already his Valentine. So.
Yeah, okay. Just checking. I don't want to be left out. Hey, Mark Daniels, by the way. So the guy I was riding with today, who had signed your shirt previously, that I'm pretty sure that I didn't send now. I've done some research.
Okay. Well,
and I didn't see the shipping label to send it. So that shirt is in. I remember packing it into the bag, and I was going to get him to sign another shirt today, but his fingers were too cold. He was a little bit chilly.
Yeah.
So, hey, if you want to call into the show, Seat Concepts Hot Seat Hotline, there is a link in the chat if you can scroll back to it. But I think we're going to try to get Matt to put that back in here. I
may or may not have shut it down, but I can get it going again.
Oh, you may have shut it down.
But no, I got it going again. It's pretty easy to go. There we go.
Anyone still commenting? So is it a comment or a live chat that I'm posting to? Ron, you are talking directly to the host and his Valentine for today. So
I already stripped though. So he missed the real show.
You missed the real show?
Yeah. I stripped at the beginning.
Yeah, you're right, Mark. It wasn't sent, and the guy, his fingers are so cold he couldn't sign another one. So I'm going to work on this. You haven't been forgotten, but in honor of Mark, I'm going to show you what I'm drinking tonight. Loma Azul. Now, if you're a tequila risto like myself, this, let me turn an angle it the right way. As far as bang for the buck tequila, like if you like sipping tequila, like we don't shoot it here, we just sip it. This is really, really good stuff. So whether it's I would go Reposado or Añejo. The silver is medium, but anyways. So I'll have some of that in a little bit. So Matt, what do we got?
All right. So continuing on with these questions here from Mike Skidmore. Now,
Mike Skidmore.
Yeah. So this wasn't actually a question.
Are skids for squids?
That is I don't know how to answer that. So this isn't really more of a question, but more of a comment. And I actually just kind of wanted to see your opinion on this. So the two-stroke needs to be a 175 cc in order to compete with the 250 4-stroke.
So wait, he says
it needs to be 175 cc's in order to compete with a 250 4-stroke.
So there was a lot of, when they were going to make these rules, which size 2 strokes versus which size 4 strokes, there was a lot of debate and discussion about it. Mm-hmm. And I think that so they basically said 125 2-stroke, 250 4-stroke. They kind of limited there. They wouldn't let it go to 150, which would have been a lot more fair. And I honestly think that if they would have gone like 150, 175, it would be fair. Same thing, 252 stroke versus 454 stroke. Don't think it's a fair fight. It's just, I mean, yeah, on the dyno you can get certain amount of power and stuff like that, but the 2-stroke doesn't have the functional length of power band that a 4-stroke does. This is where the problem is. So take it for what it's worth. It doesn't matter unless if you're racing, you're going to race with the most competitive bike that you can get your hands on. Mm-hmm. It doesn't matter whether it's two-stroke or four-stroke. You're just going to race with that, and the rules are the rules. You can't change. You can go lobby to have the rules changed, but you can't change the rules. So I'm not really sure where this question is going. I do tend to agree with you. Yeah, it would take 175, 100.
It would take more than 125 cc's.
It's more than 125, that's for sure, to compete with a 254 stroke. Right. I think you can get more power out of a 152 stroke than you can a 254 stroke, but man, is that thing going to be hard to ride. It's going to be peaky. You're not going to be able to roll the throttle on. Let's put it that way. It's going to be a little on off.
Got it.
So Mark is having no sotros. I don't know if I've had that. I'll have to check with my retired bartender to see if I have that.
Okay, so we're actually going to change our source of questions here from DBT comments to actually comments on the latest Better Rider podcast.
But we're getting to Ron Hartle's question because Ron threw one up in the chat.
All right, so any predictions or inside scoop on 2024 KTM XCWs?
Ron, so are you talking two-stroke or four-stroke? Because four-stroke, we're really talking about EXC versus XCW. I mean, really, they focus on EXC, but the two-stroke would be more like XCWs. So kind of answer that question, and I will get right back on that. What is Mike Kamet?
So he was saying thoughts on the Co 450 rally. You probably have some inside intel.
I have none, in all honesty. I don't know. I kind of saw it popping up on the internets a little bit when I checked, and okay, so Ron wants two-stroke. So I don't know a whole lot about that Cove. It looks like it looks like they knocked off the shell of a KTM. I have no idea what's inside the motor. So no, not a lot of inside intel at all. I know they raced them in Dakar. I believe they finished. And so, yeah, let me know if you know. Hey, tell them to send us one. I'll test it. I need rally bikes at the moment. So
yeah, that'd be
checking
awesome.
all of our other questions. So the two-stroke, Ron. So here's what do I know? I have to be a little careful about this one. What do I know?
Oh, wait. Like
on the
NDA careful?
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
On KTMs. I can tell you what's like publicly available and stuff. So the question everybody has is, so KTM has TPI and TBI. So TPI is on the XCWs and TBI is the new SX XC system. And depending on how much you look at the internet's, like KTM screwed up with TPI and made TBI. Well, I rode my TPI 300 all day today, 150 miles, and it didn't screw up at all. Mm-hmm. I wished sometimes that I had more throttle response, and having ridden a TBI bike, that's what it does. But TBI is also, you mix the gas. Mine, I put gas in my oil injection tank, and then when I rode 70 or 80 miles wherever we went to the gas station, I poured straight gas in the gas tank and I kept riding. I didn't have to carry oil or any of this other stuff. So for the XCW client, I believe that that's an important thing. They don't really want to mix the fuel for the majority of them. All the people on the internet, the ones that take that one picture of the one guy's bike that seized and they repost it and they say, look at this. And they say, oh, they all blow up instantly and all this stuff. Those people would probably say you need to mix your gas, but I haven't had to mix my gas just yet. Mm-hmm. So I mean, other than that, I think you're going to get some of the you just look at the XC and the SX, and whatever they've done to the chassis, they're going to carry that over to XCW, but it'll still be PDS. I suspect. I don't think they're going to go away from PDS, but you never know. And this is all just speculation, but I think you can expect it to switch from TPI to TBI, and not because it's necessarily better. It's because they're going to be able to use the same parts on multiple bikes, if that makes any sense. They want to produce less parts, and the reason I say it's not that it's any better. So I've ridden TBI, the throttle body injection, and you can tune it to do exactly what TPI does, but you can also tune it to get more snap, which is kind of hard to do with the old, XCW. So hopefully that makes the answer, not too worried about TPI. Just wonder if they would go full TBI. I don't want to go full TBI. They're going to go TBI with oil injection. That's my guess on this. And I don't know. I know a couple things, but I don't know that much. And it has nothing to do with emissions. Like, it's sold as a competition bike here. Other places in the world, yeah, it's an emissions compliant bike in different countries. So, but I haven't really poked too deep into it, but just from talking to different people and whatever. So,
okay.
Actually, here's the way you can tell. When they start doing the extreme enduros coming up, like when the season starts in a few months, look to see what the KTM factory guys are riding. I didn't see any picture of like Tristan Hart's bike at King of the Motos, but look to see what the KTM factory guys are riding. And if all of a sudden their bikes switch over to something different than TPI, that's probably the direction they're going, because they like to test that stuff. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So Greg Miller, you are mirroring what I believe the KTM customer says. TBI with oil injection. Correct.
Ron, let's see. Now EFI going to mirror Yamaha with the Power Tuner app?
Yamaha Power Tuner app is. Were we talking about this today?
We were talking about it on Sunday.
On Sunday, how awesome it is.
It's awesome, and I don't understand why the other manufacturers haven't caught on.
I think Yamaha, my thing, and if you have a Yamaha competition bike 4-stroke that has the Power Tuner app, by the way, Yamaha does sponsor the show, and no matter what, I 100% agree with this. They knocked it out of the park with that Power Tuner app, whether it was the old one that plugged into the bike or the newer style ones that use this app. It's game changing, revolutionary. So you know how you buy a Tesla?
Yeah.
And you buy a Tesla, you know this because your friend has a Tesla.
Yeah. Yeah.
And we were talking the other day, and it's like, can it self-drive? She goes, no, I didn't want to pay $12,000. $12,000 for someone to push a button in the software and make it work. Mm-hmm. Well, that's kind of what Yamaha's giving you. They're giving you this awesome software suite that most manufacturers probably felt they could charge for. They could charge. It's that app in modifications alone is worth, I'm going to go with $22,000 because you can make your bike do anything you want it to motor-wise with the stock muffler and the stock everything. You could just play with tunes. And if you wanted to have all those level of tunes, you would have to buy, in my rough estimation, $22,000 worth of different mufflers and different air filters and different cams and different ignition systems and all this other stuff. You'd have to spend $22,000 to be able to do what you can do with your phone to that motorcycle, whether it's a YZ250, a YZ450. It is game changing, and most people don't even exploit it to the nth degree. What it'll do. I mean, you can take a fire breathing YZ and tune it down into a WR, or you can take your fire breathing YZ and make it triple fire breathing to the point where it's unrideable. And these are all within a spectrum that Yamaha deems as being safe and a durability standard.
See, that was actually my question: is can you actually not ruin your bike?
Not with the Yamaha tuner. They won't. I mean, you probably could. I mean,
long term. Like
I'm sure you could lean it out a whole bunch, and I'm sure you could lean out the fuel and hype up the ignition, and the bike will run like crap. I mean, I know it because I've done it before just to test it. Mm-hmm. It runs like crap, but I don't know why anybody would ride it like that. But I imagine if you rode it like that and you rode it as if it was good, it probably wouldn't do any benefit to the motor. Mm-hmm. But like any of the maps that they supply you, or just, tuning in the parameters they give you within reason without doing something stupid like I just described, super lean, super advanced ignition, you're never going to have a problem. But that is how, and I'm not saying that because they help us out and sponsor the show. I'm saying that because that is the truth.
Yeah.
And when you have to buy it, an accessory thing that's $400, $500, $1,200 that does something similar, that's, I think Yamaha gave it away, and maybe they shouldn't have. I mean, because it's that good. It is literally like, and I remember ever since we've had the ability to power tune the Yamaha, when we were comparing all the 450s, I could change a little bit of the power tune on the Yamaha, and it could go from second or third 450 to best 450 just by making some small changes to the tuning of the motor, which was, like I say, a free app, and just it was by far and away the best bike. I mean, everything else about it was already good.
Yeah,
but just that for me, tuning the motor just so slightly, it'd be like jetting your carburetor or adjusting your suspension. It's the same thing, but you have such a wider range. And so call me a shill, but
no, it's fantastic.
That's it. And you can, the one time I'll say is different is like that YZ250FX. It's just kind of a little bit high. The 250s are a little bit high strung. You're never going to turn it into, quote, that WR.
Yeah. You're
going to have to tame it in some other way. You're going to have to add some restriction to the muffler, things like this. But for the most part, it's a really good tool.
Yeah. All right, so we'll do one last question, then we'll go into Roost or Endo. So from our Better Rider podcast, which you can find on wherever you find this, you can find that. This is a comment which was sent on our newest episode about gripping the bike, is 98% of dirt bike lore is all motocross based.
So we did an episode of Better Rider where we basically talked about how a lot of people say, oh, you need to grip the bike with your knees, grip the bike. And we basically said the only real reason you would grip the bike is if you're going to fall off of it or it's doing something that you didn't expect. Otherwise, you should hover over the top of it. And then it was like, all this is based in MX, motocross. And you tend to agree with this a little bit.
Yeah, I do agree that a lot of riding advice that you hear from people is something they heard some motocross racers say.
So their motocross is popular. Motocross, there's a lot more, quote, motocross coaches than there are like trail riding coaches or adventure bike. Well, there's a lot of adventure bike coaches now. I would tend to say that most of the proper techniques are based in trials.
Oh, the proper techniques are, yes.
Right.
Yeah.
But you're talking about the popular techniques tend to be motocross
based. Yeah. That's where I agree.
They've always said in motocross, they've always said grip with your knees. And so, yeah, I can see where he's grabbing this is like, yeah, motocross, but just watch the top riders, especially when they do slow motion, and they're so not gripped onto the motorcycle until they really need to be, which means they've gotten a little bit out of control. Maybe when they're controlling a turn, they're in the turn, then they're putting their weight and gripping the bike because they're accelerating so hard, but they're also at a point where they want all of their weight to be translated through the bike into traction. So they're using their weight, they're gripping the bike to add their weight to the bike so that when the tire grabs traction, it's the bike's weight and the rider's weight.
Yes.
If they're at any point a little bit out of control, the first thing you do is loosen up on the bike. So they're not gripping the bike.
No,
they're pressuring it. So, and this is such high level that 98% 98% of the riders in the world should not pay attention to any of that.
Right.
Because they're not there. They're not even close. So don't, unless you're at your highest level of motocross, don't pay attention to what the motocross coaches are saying because it doesn't apply to you for the most part. Some of the things they saying you can glance over and you go, oh yeah, that's kind of a good thing. And they're coming around. A lot of them are coming around because they realize they were just repeating what the other guy said.
Mm-hmm. And that's where I agree with the 98% of dirt bike lore is motocross based. I guess I read that quote comment as kind of like an agreement for agreeing with us and about like, oh yeah, you shouldn't just grip it all the time, which is something you would hear those motocross guys say.
Yeah, they're finally starting to come around. Yeah. I mean, before it was just grip the bike with your knees, push with your knees, squeeze with your knees, elbows up. Elbows up. What if you're balanced and then you turn your elbows up? What happens?
Then you're out of balance.
Right. Okay, good. Get out of balance. Best technique ever.
Okay, so actually looking at the time, we can squeeze this one last question and on the same podcast. So this was from Paparazzi. It's actually a relief to hear this point of view on gripping. I really didn't grip with my knees much when I was racing motocross as a beginner at 28 years old. After years of not riding at all, I started riding dual sport and heard I should be gripping with my knees. At 5'6", that's not much of a problem. But the only time it seemed
ask a 6'2" rider to grip with his knees.
Yeah, it doesn't work.
Either he squats down or his knees do an air stab over the tank.
Yep.
So, okay, go ahead.
But the only time it seemed appropriate is when I'm accelerating uphill or around corners. I've tried McGrath's tip, which was pointing the toes in, which will force the knees to grip. He found that this hurts his knees because they are slightly twisted. Hoping to get up to the school to get this personal evaluation that he's looking for. At this point, he is a little bit confused with all the information out there.
Right. So you have a lot of people telling you different things. And some of these people, I'm not going to dispute that Jeremy McGrath knows how to ride a motorcycle. Probably better than me at anything to do with motocross, supercross, some other stuff. But I don't know that he's probably the best coach. In the way that, he
articulating what you're doing.
He probably hasn't had to sit there and study it and break it down. He can just say what he thinks he's doing. And I bet you if he spent a little more time thinking about what he's doing but there's guys and he may be one of them that's all it took for someone to say, hey, if you just turn your toes in a little bit and whatever it did, maybe he rode bow-legged, out a little bit and he just turned him in. And all of a sudden that gave him the ability to control the motorcycle better. And I'm not saying for each individual that there isn't some magic button, like we call it the aha moment.
Yeah.
That you have when, somebody just says, hey, try this. Like we see it all the time when we tell people to regrip the grips, like just to loosen up and regrip the grips every once in a while. And it's like, they're like, oh my God, I can't believe I was squeezing them that hard or doing whatever they were doing. So there's things like little techniques like this, but you can't throw, that isn't a blanket technique that works for everybody. And so I understand how he's having a hard time. And I literally, when you start saying that, turn your toes in, and I'm trying to think about what that does and how that works. When I turn my toes in, it also locks my hips up.
Yeah. Yeah.
And if you listen to some other guys that are really popular on the riding techniques, what are they talking? What's the number one thing they say? Unlock the hips. Turn your toes in and try to unlock your hips.
No, it doesn't work.
Yeah, it does. Yeah, because
you're pivoting your whole leg when you turn your toes.
Right, and then your hips aren't as fluid and flexible as they should be.
Right, and then you just become really rigid.
People say ride on the balls of your feet, and I'm like, is somebody going to punch me? Because I want to have the balls of my feet to when something starts going wrong. So I'm not going to use that all the time. I'm going to be more relaxed so I can get up on the balls of my feet and have one extra level of control.
Right.
To a certain extent. So anyways, if you want to check out more about how we think about riding motorcycles, check out the Better Rider podcast. You can learn a little bit about our staff and, in all honesty, a couple things. We always have a nugget in there that'll
make you a better rider.
It does. I still practice the stuff we talk about all the time. Unless, I'm riding perfect all the time. Right. Hey,
right.
Climb
Product of the week
is a sponsor. Product of the week. I'm talking about the Climb inversion gloves, which I used all day today. And you'll notice these ones are probably 4 or 5 years old. I don't even know if they make this colorway anymore. And I just ordered up some new ones because a couple of the pairs that I have are getting a little bit warmed out. But in these conditions that we have this time of year, where it's cold in the morning, could get warm in the afternoon, whatever. Mm-hmm. This is a minimalist glove. It doesn't have a whole lot of protection on the outside, but then again, you shouldn't be riding through bushes and stuff that are whacking your hands. Mm-hmm. But what it does have is windstopper material built in and just a little bit of insulation and not much. And then same thing on the palm. It's a flat palm. There's not a lot of insulation there. So you have good feel on the handlebars. And it just keeps your hands warm. Mm-hmm. So you can start out when it was 36 degrees.
How cold did it get on you?
I was fine all day long. And believe it or not, this one actually has a little bit, it's actually worn out right here. This is why I called up to get new ones, because I noticed that my finger is showing through. And you'll notice this other part right here. I don't think I did that. I think someone else was. I loan these out a lot, because I have a couple pairs, and I say, here, right. I think someone tried to warm their hands up on the muffler and touch the back. So there's a couple other little burn marks on them, but super durable. Like I said, these are 4 or 5 years old, and if you know how much I ride, that's lasted a long time. If you need to keep your hands a little bit warm, and I've even ridden moto with these, like on a super cold morning at Glen Helen or something like that, practice at SRA, I would ride with these gloves in the morning practice, and my hands would be nice and warm. They wouldn't freeze, and then I wouldn't get arm pump. So cool. Climb inversion gloves. By the way, product of the week.
Imagine we might need those for this class upcoming weekend?
It's going to be nice. Weather's going to be perfect.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah. It's going to be a little chilly in the morning. I actually, most of the times in the morning, because we ride, 5 miles down the road to get out to where we go to.
Yeah, initial ride can get pretty brisk.
I start with inversion gloves, and they roll up into nothing. Look, it's like this.
Yeah.
So I can stuff these in my pocket and pull my other gloves out. And then if I'm, we run a little late, you're going to run out of one of 3 things if you go riding with me. You know what those 3 things are?
Fuel, daylight, or energy.
Right. And when the daylight goes down, you get cold, and cold robs energy. So I have these, and I just pull them right back out, and I put them on, and my hands don't get cold. And so one less thing to complain about, because I don't like complaining.
There we go.
So
I think it's time for Taco Moto's Rooster Endo.
Taco Moto's Rooster Endo. What do we have, Matt? We need it. Where is the Rooster Endo? Intro sound.
We do need to get a sound drop. Yeah. No, there's.
Was John working on this? He asked me something about making a sound drop or something.
He asked me about it too. And I said, go for it. And
okay.
Which I'll show you how to review some stuff as well.
We should have what kind of music should we? The chat. Let's add. What kind of music should Rooster Endo? Should it be like some super gnarly rock riff, or should it be some chill sounds, or should it be some rap?
I was actually thinking it should be like a motocross start sound, and then like just a classic car crashing sound.
Okay. What about someone just dropping some smooth like Roost or Endo?
Depends on how it's being delivered.
Okay.
Delivery is very important.
Delivery.
Yep. Okay, so first, smooth jazz.
Smooth jazz.
There we go.
We used, what did we use? We used funky jazz for the Better Rider podcast.
Yeah, and it was like a chill hip hop.
I like that. There was something that I really wanted to get, but it was actually really expensive for the intro. And by the way, I'll tell you what, I'll just throw a shout out to it. So it's a guy named Z Trip, who's a DJ, and I've talked about him before on the show. Z Trip, and then what was the name of the other guys? LS Dream, and they have a thing called what was the name of the song that they made? But it's funk, space funk. It's called space funk. Yeah, search it,
okay.
Google it, whatever. That's a cool little riff. Flex handlebars or Mako 360, asks Ron Hartle. I'm going to tell you that Fasst Company is a sponsor of the show, but how many bikes do I have?
More than I can count.
Okay, so I probably ride 20 different bikes on a regular basis. Right?
Yeah.
Every single one of those has flex handlebars on them.
Mm-hmm.
So the Benny Hill Show theme song.
Yeah, that'd be good too. But
no, it wouldn't.
I think it'd be fine. I think it'd lead to copyright issues, but
yeah, flex handlebars for me all the time. There are some definite differences between the way that the Flex and the Mako operate, what they're trying to accomplish, and I'm just 100% on board with the Fasst Company bars. I did test, and I actually helped with some of the development stuff on the Mako a long time ago, and just different, like I said, you or anybody may like one better than the other. And I just like what the Flex does. I've liked them since day one. And that's why I could go riding tomorrow, except I have to go to a motorcycle show.
Yep.
We get to see a lot of people at the AIM Expo.
Yeah.
If anybody's going to the AIM Expo in Vegas, let us know. We'd like to,
Taco Moto will be there.
Taco Moto is going to be there.
Yeah. And
we should go to Gene Wood's racing experience. We should grab a bunch of people that think they're really fast at driving go-karts and take them there. That'd be cool. So
okay, so let's go on to Rooster Endo. So first up on our we do need music for that little transition. So just it feels so weird. All right, so our first submission that we're going to go with is Daryl Young.
Daryl Young.
Yeah, this is a 2020 350 EXEF.
Hey, Daryl, if you're in the chat, go ahead and chime in. Let us know you're there. Because I never, ever, just since you're in the chat, make you win. Because it's going to be 100% up to me tonight.
All right.
You can weigh in, but Matt, Well,
I weigh in. I give you my opinions. All right. So the mods done to this are it's a power commander, an exhaust cap. He's not telling me the brands. HDP handguards.
It's
Moscow
Highway Dirt
bags.
Bike, so that's a brand.
Yeah. Moscow bags, aluminum oil pump, gear upgrade, and that's about it.
So he saw the post. He ran out into his garage and shot a photo.
And it's on a motorcycle stand.
It's on a motorcycle stand. George would approve. He has a Taco Moto sticker on front. And other than that, it looks like a generic dirt bike that the Tugger straps. Did he say Tugger straps?
No.
Didn't mention the Tugger straps. Tugger is sponsor of Jimmy Lewis Off-Road Training, by the way. I can't tell much.
No. He's also got an Acherbis swing arm cover there too.
Oh yeah. Yep.
So.
Left some stuff out. Didn't do very. It just seems like a quick. It's a quick submission. Definitely not worth $100 in my world.
Yeah.
Endo. Not that the bike endos, but just the whole.
I'm gonna go with the Roost because I just want to be a little contrarian tonight.
Okay. Yeah.
All right.
Be my Valentines, Matt.
I'm already Victor's.
Oh, jeez.
Okay, so up next is going to be from Aaron Piazza.
He's been in the chat.
Yeah. He's actually been emailing me. He's been excited to get his bike here. All right, so this is actually a very long one. I did count though, so it's not 69 mods, so it's not an automatic Roost. But it's pretty close.
Dude, he has spiderweb or topo line graphics on that thing.
Yeah, and on the swing arm guard too.
Yeah, I know. It's graphicked up.
Yeah, and he's right there in the chat.
He's in there. He's posing. He's looking happy.
Okay, so 20.
It looks like he actually took some time to set this photo up too, by the way, which is much better than the last one.
Good lighting.
This isn't where my bike was when I just happened to walk out with my phone and take a picture of it. Okay, so
I like this photo. All right, so it's 2017.
I already have an issue. Wait, no, I don't know if I have an issue. I'm having a hard time with because the graphics might be covering. And it is a bigger tank. I was going to go. It's rally designed, but
I just got a stock tank.
If it had the stock tank on it, I'm going to have a problem because you can't do much of a rally with a stock tank. But go ahead.
Right, so 2017 FE501. This is Paul Neff's old bike. Nomad Rally Tower with Baja design lights.
Do you know how hammered that bike probably was?
Probably pretty hammered.
That bike's been out here before, right?
No, I don't think so.
He had a bike out here for a while, I thought.
Yeah, but it was a KTM 500. It wasn't a Husky.
Oh, it wasn't
Husky. Dave had a Husky out here, though.
Dave had a Husky. Okay. Yeah. I get confused. Lots of bikes.
So Nomad Rally Tower with Baja Designs light, True North luggage rack, Kreft Moto suspension build, AME heated grips, Trail Tech Voyager, wheel bearing dust covers.
Oh, you know who was really wanting heated grips today?
Mr. Ricky
Bayback.
Yeah.
That guy.
Fastway foot pegs, P3 foot wraps, P3 carbon fiber exhaust shield, Warp 9 wheel set, Kickstarter add-on kit, battery capacitor for electrical starting, IMS 4.5 gallon tank, new gray plastics, SKDA custom graphics, Steg pegs, Polaris frame guards, EBC brake pads, Dirt Tricks washer, axle pulls, bulletproof covers, calipers, chain guards, and fork guard, TM Design Works skid plate, Polaris ignition and clutch cover.
Polaris?
Yeah. That's not the Polaris, right? That's just another off.
Yeah, I don't know. I was when you said Polaris ignition, I'm like, what the?
Yeah, I was a little confused too.
Yeah, okay, keep going.
Seat Concepts comfort seat, ASV levers, Enduro Engineering lever, grip wraps, Fastway kickstand, swing arm covers, CNC rear axle blocks, rear brake, reservoir cooler, SAS to battery, air filter upgrade, California Cycle Works fuel pump, sick ass hand guards, rear turn signals, license plate bracket, DID chain guide, Enduro Engineering case saver, TM Design Works chain slider, Scott's cable guide, TPMS off Amazon, temp gauge radiator cap, FMF muffler, horn. All emissions have been removed, and it has a Vortex ECU.
So I'm wondering, I'm hoping that thing that I'm seeing in front of the cylinder down low is a horn. I don't know what it is, but what did he say about gas tank too?
IMS 4.5 gallon.
IMS 4. Okay, good. Because like if it's a rally bike with a stock size tank,
that's no flat. That's no good. What is that? Is it just what is that? Yeah, I was wondering what that is too. Oh, it's the exhaust.
No, it's not the exhaust. What is that?
Why is it orange? No, it's not the exhaust.
I don't know what the thing is. It a muffin heater? Like you put your muffin inside of it and warm it up while you ride?
He said it is a horn.
It's a horn. But okay. What, a beluga horn or something? So, okay.
I mean, that's a... Oh, wait, Jimmy, we got problems.
Did you leave that off?
Jimmy. I don't know.
Did he say bulletproof designs front disc protector? Because that's what that is.
Bulletproof designs covers, calipers, chain guards, a fork guard.
He left so he's calling it a fork guard just to deflect interest from this. But the good thing is I'm looking at it, and do you notice that it looks like the bottom rim of that thing is actually scratched? Like right along the bottom of that. Does it look?
This?
Yeah, it doesn't look like it looks seen like some use.
It could have. It could also just be the reflection of the light.
It could be. But I'm not going to judge him based on one little disc protector.
Right. This is a pretty bitchin' bike.
Yeah, I right away I like the graphics, which is odd because I usually don't. I'm not too up on the looks of things and stuff. But it looks like a good bike. I'm giving it a full Roost.
Oh, this is a Roost. And I know he's been excited. Oh,
emergency can of chew. Thanks, Mike K-Matt. Yeah, not everybody chews. Gold foil. It's a horn
with gold foil. Okay, so
Roost.
Yeah, hard Roost for me too. So we've done Aaron, Darryl. All right, we'll do Dave Brunson. Yeah, we'll go Brunson.
Okay.
Brunson. I'm assuming that's a Stairway to Heaven right there.
That could be the Stairway to Heaven.
Okay. 2017 Bone Stock 500 EXCF. And this is Endo because that is not Bone Stock.
Yeah. Okay, so this is another guy that just pulled a picture out of his phone next to the Stairway of Heaven. I kind of want to go riding there. I hate to say it. I kind of It looks like there's a lot of good places to go explore. Thank God he put a big tank on his bike if he's going to go exploring. He's got some hand guards on it.
Yeah. And
it almost looks like a double take mirror, which, by the way, is one of our sponsors. Double Take makes the best mirrors for your dual sport bike. He has some Wolfman luggage on there. That's obviously Wolfman luggage. The bone stock part that I'm really not liking is the fact that the tires look bone stock.
We're out on those.
And it looks like he left the bone stock license plate mount on there and it got sucked into his wheel. So, Endo.
Hard Endo. You got to follow the rules.
You got to follow the rules. Did he tell us what kind of make model it was? Your make model?
Actually, he told us the model, but he did not tell us if it was a KTM or not.
Complete fail. I don't know how we'd ever know.
Yeah.
Because it could be a Husky or a gas.
It could just be a really weird Suzuki.
Right.
You never know. Okay.
Follow the rules, people.
All right. So up next we have Ethan Wheeler.
Okay.
So he is working on this build for the next District 38 series of this upcoming year.
That is down in very, very Southern California.
Yeah.
Can we zoom in on the bike?
Well, I accidentally zoomed in on us. Oh, come on. It's not technical difficulties. It's just,
it's Matt not knowing what he's doing. He should be more keyed into this. Who's he riding with there? They got the Honda Pro front sticker on there. It almost looks like somebody I know.
Wearing Fox gear, Alpine Stars
Is it
boots.
Fox? No, it's Fly gear.
That's not Fly. Is it? Pretty sure that's Fox.
It looks a little bit like some guy I know. What do you... Okay, here we go. We're zooming in and check it out.
Was it FXR?
It could be FXR. Yeah, it looks like FXR.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then, well, it has a headlight on it, so it can't be. And it's also FXR gear.
Okay, so go back to the bike we're talking about.
This one right here. Okay. 2021 KTM EXCF 500, IMS 4.5 gallon tank, Fastway end cap, JD tuner, Baja Designs headlight, Enduro Engineering skid plate, Scott steering stabilizer with BRP undermount, P3 carbon fiber guard, Cherubi's hand guards, 02 delete and bung cap.
You got to be careful about throwing those those
it's Valentine's Day, guys. Custom turn.
You're missing your date.
AKT. No,
you're missing your date.
I'm not missing my date. Victor. AKT oil filter and reeds have been pulled. MC 360 mid hard tires. Trail Tech radiator guards.
What tires?
MC 360 mid hard tires.
MC. It's Michelin, or I mean not Michelin. Metzler. It's interesting. I just don't know that that looks like a pretty good little build there.
I like the graphics. I like that blue on KTM's. I don't know why.
Do you like my one that I threw some blue stuff on?
Yeah, actually I do.
Really? Yeah. I need to figure out how to get the airbox unglued. I think it needs a sticker or something like that. But I don't have to look
name
at
sticker?
It. No, it needs the whole sticker to tie it in because it has different colors in it. I think it's okay. He's near Glamis.
I like the picture.
You like the picture?
Yeah, I'm here.
You want to go hang out there when it's like 120 degrees out in the desert? I'll give it a Roost because I'm being a little soft right now, and the fact that he has no problem riding with a guy in a Honda.
Yeah,
I do that all the time. I go riding with a guy in a Honda.
So it's a Roost for me.
Okay, it's a Roost.
Yeah. All right. And
so if you're wondering how you could submit your bike, it's really easy. You just send a picture with your make and model. Try to do good with your picture because we get a little judgmental. Oh boy, here we go.
We don't want something like this.
Send it to matt@jimmylewisoffroad.com. We will discuss your bike on the show, and the bike that gives us the most entertainment is the way I like to say it.
Yep.
The bike that gives us the most entertainment will be the bike that wins the $100 gift certificate from Taco Moto. Thanks to Taco Mike for supporting this segment. If you need stuff for especially your KTM, but like all kinds of stuff, actually, Taco Mike's working on a Tenere.
Oh,
yeah. So we have something in common because I have a Tenere and Mike has a Tenere, and he's probably going to put a lot of stuff on it. And I'm going to find the minimum stuff I need to make it just do what I want. And you know that I'm having problems with my Tenere. I can't say that because they're sponsored by Yamaha, right?
Right.
I've identified a problem that probably wouldn't exist for 99% of the people, because the problem is I got so comfortable doing stuff with it. I was enjoying riding it and stuff, and then I decided I was going to huck some kind of a big gap double jump thing. It was actually a double, but you could land on a tabletop, not the one you saw the other day, but a different one. And I need to ride it like Barsha. I need to rev it more, but I don't like doing that. I like using the torque. And so low throttle openings, I'm having a little bit of an issue. So now we're going to start working on trying to tune that up. But most people don't try doing double jumps on Teneres.
No.
So it's on me. And the reason I did it is because I was actually kind of testing suspension stuff. I'm trying to figure out what I want to do to the suspension. But my suspension is so interconnected to how I use the throttle.
Right.
That now I can't test my suspension because I need to use my throttle differently.
Right.
Okay, what do we got?
This is from Park Frankel, and this is the definition of just running to the garage, taking a quick shot.
Oh, number 2. Well, he has a spare wheel.
He does have a spare wheel, but he couldn't spare the time to put the whole bike in frame.
Wheels. Yeah,
but he couldn't spare that time. All right, 2016 KTM 500 EXC. Still working on the build. That's a good
year.
Still working on the build, and would love to have Taco Moto go through her to dial it all in. Full FMF Mega Bomb, AMD 4i slip-on, Vortex ECU, and he loves it.
Well, good. You've screwed up by putting that muffler on there. Not the fact that it's an FMF. You screwed up because I can see that there's no insert in it. And if you haven't done a whole lot of other stuff to make that bike work like that, you have just effectively destroyed the power band on that motorcycle. How do I know? Because I tested it. Yeah. I tried every different combination of FMF muffler on that bike without doing anything else. And what I'm seeing there is the absolute worst one I ever experienced. I'm not kidding. So this bike endos just by me looking down the.
Oh, it endoed for me as soon as I saw the photo.
It's like
it's not cropped off, like
just like I'm checking out your girlfriend's ass. I'm looking at your motorcycle's muffler, and it's really not pretty.
Right.
Yeah.
So that is a endo.
Oh yeah, 100%. Yeah, come on, you go back to that damn picture.
This picture right here.
So he has the Fastway, the pegs, what do they call those pegs? The
ones that have that extra.
Trevor just did a review on these, and he sent it to me and stuff.
Yeah.
So we're actually talking about those. So it's an extension out the back of the peg that's made to say if you kind of come up short on a jump or something, and your ankle was going to flex, it was going to blow out your Achilles tendon. This is a thing to protect it. And Trevor did a really good review on it. And look for that on dirtbiketest.com. That's www.dirtbiketest.com. And although this bike has some pegs on it that we wanted to talk about, it's still endos. He doesn't even have his wheels set up right. So see how he has his gold hub on the rear, and then his gold hub is off there, and then his silver hub is over there.
Yeah.
That's like me putting a Husaberg wheel with a blue rim on the back of my KTM.
Okay. So who won it for you tonight?
It's no question.
Aaron, the guy with the rally bike?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Do you know this? Like how easy it is to pick this?
Oh, it's not even close.
Yeah.
Not even close.
that bike, it completely outshined everything else. He took the time, put a list in. I'm just hoping it's not for sale, because this is called Roost, Endo, or for sale.
Right.
Just like this show may be called Tech Talk Taco Tuesday and Strippers,
which hasn't really taken off like you had hoped it would.
So tomorrow night, if anybody's in Vegas after the show and we want to go
party it up a little bit.
Yeah, might be able to. I got a locals card.
Hey. So yeah, Aaron, go ahead and reach out to me at Matt Jamie Lewis Off Road, and we'll get you dialed in with that $100 Taco Moto gift.
Yeah, and I'm glad you by buying that bike, you helped send Paul Neff to Dakar, which was really awesome. So that's good on you for doing that. And if I think that was the bike before the KTM that he had out here. I remember he had, but the good thing is Paul's a really good mechanic, like kind of like me.
Yeah.
And I'm not comparing us because there's no point, but he can tell when something's starting to go wrong and knows how to fix it, and like preventative maintenance. Right. Because he rides stuff hard. We all do this stuff. So good on you for helping out with that. That was pretty awesome. So
cool.
Okay.
I think that's a show.
You're ready to, do you got a date?
I don't have a date.
Oh, no. It's just 8:58.
It's just 8:58.
And you don't have a date.
Well, I don't have a date, but I don't.
Hey, Victor, you want me? Just text me. I'll send you Matt's contact info.
Yeah.
You guys could probably meet in Barstow. You get there before midnight. It'll all work out. You can have a Valentine's.
It's cold, and I kind of need some of those Burlington jackets.
Yeah, bring a Burlington jacket for him. You guys can experience static electricity together.
Feelings.
Yeah.
Sparks will fly.
Sparks will fly.
What type of? Well, we're gonna find out.
Yeah. And to Matt's friend, what was your friend's name? I forgot already.
Claire.
Claire. That's right. Sorry. So thanks for listening. Thanks for watching the show, however you're watching it, whether you're watching it live, you're watching it on the Facebooks or the YouTubes, or even in the podcast format. It really, really helps us out if you do share this, tell a friend, put it in your social feeds. This show's actually growing quite a bit. And believe it or not, where it's really growing is in the previous episodes, because somebody will find it and say, hey, those two ding dongs. And I replaced this ding dong with other ding dongs. We used to have this other guy. Remember the kid? What was his name?
All I remember is
he didn't talk much.
He didn't talk much, and the numbers kind of went up when.
And the other kid, remember the other kid that
Titty Tail,
yeah. So, but you can go through the archives and check out some of the older shows, and then you'll have a little bit of a basis, and you can come back and tell us how much we've wrecked the show. Since I brought on my producer as my co-host.
Right. And, expect some more improvements coming.
I'm actually going to work on the studio one of these days. I have an idea or two.
Sitting here is actually good. I want to revamp this.
Oh,
I'm going to revamp that.
By the way, you're pointing at Climb. Climb is an awesome sponsor of the show, like many others.
I actually just got my first ever F5 helmet from them.
Did you like it?
This thing's awesome.
I actually, believe it or not, I like F3 better than F5 because they're just a little bit lighter and the fit is a little bit better for me.
Okay.
But, because fit is everything for me in helmets because I know how important that is. But yeah, I'm a big F3. Sometimes when I thought I was riding fast, I thought, maybe I should wear F5 with Koroyd and stuff. But hey, I also, since your friend was going to watch this show to see how I picked on you.
Yeah.
I wanted to point out that you do a freaking mean butt whip.
Oh, I'm very aware of this.
Do you know? You know that when you go off the jump, you turn the bars and kick your butt out?
Yep. I'm trying to fix this.
It made me jealous. Like it literally made me, because I thought I was the king of that.
Yeah. And then I showed up.
Yeah, you got it better.
So. No, I'm working on it.
So at the end of Rooster Endo, Matt.
Yep.
Repost a photo of the winner so everybody can see.
Yeah.
That's a great idea. And for that,
I said improvements are coming soon. And
for that, Mark, I think that you should get an award, like a T-shirt that we would actually send to you.
A Ricky Bra.
It's spelled. I think
I know it has bra in it.
Right there. He's got a poster up here.
Oh.
Yeah.
And it says
Brabeck.
Oh.
Yeah, that's what Siri tells me when I say, hey, call Ricky, and she says, calling Ricky Brabeck. I'm gonna get it next time when his fingers aren't so cold. I'm gonna get him to sign something for you, and we'll be all good. So
cool.
Okay. Support us also by clicking through our Amazon links and the Rocky Mountain ATV MC links on our website, dirtbiketest.com. I don't know.
Yeah. But check us. Go ahead and share it. And
so if you ever listen to the beginning of the show, and you see that like we can't really describe what we did during the show, this is where my brain's at right now.
Right.
I'm having a hard time understanding this stuff. So
we'll wrap it there.
We'll wrap it there. Hey, everybody, we'll see you out on the trail. Cheers.
See ya.